This is the time of year for turkeys, and since I raw feed my dogs, of course when turkeys are on sale, that means dogs get turkeys. In a lot of ways I don't like the turkeys because turkeys are big, and if you want to get the best deal, you get the biggest one, that type of thing. And so the bones are really hard for me to cut and break, and it's hard, so they're harder to cut up than, say, a chicken. And I didn't think about it yesterday. I already started on the turkey. It wasn't fully thawed yet, so I was able to do the extremities. I cut off the first and second part of the wings, I cut off the legs, and I pulled out the neck. And the neck I cut up into a couple pieces, and the legs I cut some of the meat off, and we ate turkey yesterday. Yeah, dog food. We ate turkey yesterday, and then I made the leg a little smaller as an appropriate feeding size for the dog. The dog didn't have any problems chewing the bones, but the leg would be really hard for me to cut with a knife. And again, because I'm not at home, I don't necessarily have all my tools. If, as I recall, last year, I think I just went out to the miter saw and just down and cut the bones that way, and the meat too, and that made my life a little bit easier. But of course you make a little bit of a mess, but since my saw is outside, it doesn't, I don't really worry about it. So like it says, I still got the one turkey leg that I cut some of the meat off of that we ate, so that'd be for one dog. I've got the thighs to cut off, and the other parts of the wings. Like it says, the problem is, see, like this is just so, this bone is so big, it's hard for me to cut or break this without getting major tools. So we should be able to get this part of the wing off. This was a 12-pound turkey. Can you get your drink, please? Nope, this turkey did not have giblets. And the reason I'm cutting some of the meat off the thighs is because I'm kind of trying to make the thighs my dog size. Like, see, that's all. They don't need the full. They don't need the full thigh. So now I've managed to cut off both thighs, both wings. Separate the back from the breast. There's a spot right between the back. There we go. Got it. So this is the back. And usually it's easy to at least break it right there. I'm gonna break it somewhere. There we go. So yeah, this is the part of raw feeding that gets a little bit tedious. But then when you think about that it's for your dogs and you love your dogs and you know they're just going to enjoy eating these bones and they're going to be happy, it just, to me again, it makes it all worthwhile. As you've seen in a lot of my videos, I use scissors a lot of times because they just make some things go easier. Now this is a really heavy piece, so I'm going to be cutting some stuff off because this is too much for one dog, too much food. So I gotta pare it down a little. There we go. That feels about right. And you got to remember that ideally when you give the dogs the meat, you want to be sure you're giving them meat and bones. Because if you do just meat, they're more likely to have diarrhea or other problems. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to break this or not. It looks pretty big. No, it's not. I'm not feeling any give. So how many pieces do I have? It's a little small. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since this has a bone in it, I can cut off some extra meat and make this a piece. And that'll give me my seven pieces for my dog. So even though she's not feeling well, she's definitely still eating good. So it's going to take them a long time to eat these pieces of turkey because turkey's just tougher in general. Your mom gave you an easy piece to eat, didn't she? Yeah. You get the little bone. I kind of forgot that with, I was getting ready to put all this away. I kind of forgot with modern things, they now just stuff the giblets back there, so the giblets aren't put inside. So they do have a little bit of giblets here. I'll deal with these tomorrow. I still got the full breast and, of course, a good portion of the back. So I'm using the bag to store them back in the refrigerator. We'll eat some of the breast meat. I'm going to cut some of that off for us to eat today. So I cut off a nice chunk of breast meat for us to eat. We didn't really need the skin, so I left the skin on for the dogs. So this will be our dinner today.